It is that time of year again. Whether 2022 was your best year up to date, or it wasn't exactly what you had envisioned for when you were doing your New Year's goals last year,
then this video is for you. This is the start of a 3-part series on how I'm going to completely level up my life for 2023. In today's episode, we're going to go through everything regarding goal setting, new habits, creating our dream life, and the perfect vision board. In part 2 and 3, I'll show you how I'm going to do the ultimate reset routine to my life, have a fresh start, reinvent myself for 2023, and tell you guys about the secrets to radiating confidence and glowing from within.
As you guys know, I make a little annual video on how to make the next year your best year yet. This year, I decided that I would make this series to really honor and master every step of what I think you need to do in order to reset, reevaluate, and get ready for the new year. It is no secret and probably not a surprise to you that a lot of the New Year's resolutions that you make don't end up being followed through by the end of the year. But I do think that it's super important that every so often, every season, every year, you do a little self-reflection and you think, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And that is honestly the only way that you can advance. Otherwise, we stay stagnant, and that is not the energy we want for 2023. My name is Fernanda, if you don't know who I am already. If you do, welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about lifestyle, wellness, productivity, self-care. I do a lot of routines, and overall just show you guys my journey throughout my early 20s now. I am so excited to start this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. Give this video a thumbs up. I just want to do a quick little reflection of my own before we continue into like what's next. But 2022, I learned so much, and I feel like a completely different person than how I went into the year. I was fortunate enough to go to LA multiple times and travel on my own and meet new people. I went to New York Fashion Week in February. I also got invited to my first Coachella with a brand. I stayed in a house that was sponsored, and that was an insane experience in itself. I worked a lot on my health this year. I really got in the habit of doing yoga and Pilates, and in the past years I had dabbled with yoga, but now I really got serious with it. It really did change my life. I also moved out for the first time in my life, which I feel like is such a pivotal moment for like anybody. It's just such a coming of age, you know? Even though when I lived at home I felt independent, I really did not have a lot of responsibilities whatsoever. Like, I was so blessed that my parents would like cook for us and clean for us and just cater to me. But now that I live alone, I'm like, wow, I have so many new responsibilities that I never even thought I would have. It was a little bit humbling, but nevertheless, I think we needed it. It was character development. In the summer, I got to travel so much. I went to a sponsored trip to Osheaga with Garage, which is an amazing experience. And I also worked on my Ardennes collection all year long and got to fly out to Montreal, did the photo shoots for it. And then as August came around, I did my Ardennes influencer launch party. I did the meet and greet in Vancouver and like launch in stores. And then I hit 1 million subscribers, which is freaking unbelievable to even say. That was one of my goals for 2022, and I wasn't even sure that it would happen, and I'm so blessed that it did. I had a great celebration for that, my 21st birthday. I want to say that given the job that I have, which is like social media and YouTube, I've been given these crazy opportunities, and I'm so aware that they're like not normal, and that I'm really living like a 1 in a million experience. But regardless, I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful, and all of it is thanks to you guys.
And with all that being said, although there were many highs, there were also many lows. I think this year, with moving out and everything, there came a lot of emotions, such as loneliness. At the same time that I was hitting all these really big milestones, behind the scenes, I was extremely stressed, overworking myself, probably had some sleep deprivation in there, and so burnt out from all the social events that I literally did every single weekend for probably like 3 months straight. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that progress is not linear, and we can't appreciate the good times without the bad ones. As they say, nothing happens to you, it happens for you, and the bad times always pass. I just wanted to say this because as an influencer myself, it's really common for us all to show our best selves online, but it's also important to realize that a lot of people are struggling behind closed doors. And if you yourself are going through anything, you're not alone.
Another thing that I want to mention that I was thinking about yesterday while I was driving around in my car for like an hour was that I think every year it's really important to focus on yourself and think, what do I need to do better? Where can I improve? Where can I achieve more? Where can, like, you know, very self-centered, not in a like self-absorbed way, but you're very thinking about what you did, how you can be better, how, like, you know what I mean? In your 20s, you should be selfish, prioritize yourself. It's the years of you and you can't get these back, so focus on you. And though I think that that's so true, and I probably wouldn't even be where I am if I wasn't thinking about myself and how I can improve, I think that this next year, a big theme for me is I want to be less self-involved and more thinking about, like, how am I being a good sister? How am I being a good daughter? How am I treating my friends? How am I treating my followers? How am I just like portraying myself to the outside world? How can I help more? And again, again, that's not to take away from the goals that I have within myself, but I just feel like something that I learned, it's that it's not just me, it's how I'm treating other people. I really want to work on relationships and connections and making like really good quality memories with people. And yeah, I'm just really excited for where this next year is going to take me and all of you guys. I think we are going to go back to my apartment and start making our vision board, because 2023 is going to be a big year and we got to prepare for it. We've made vision boards in the past. We've made plenty of them actually, and we make them wallpapers for our phone. But this year I thought, why not make a tangible one? I'm gonna find all the pictures on Pinterest, print them all out, and then like put this on my wall. Like I wanna be able to see it every single day. I feel like I am a pretty arts and crafts kind of gal, and if I have the excuse to like print this out and like make it all pretty, I will take it. I think I made too many goals, and a lot of them were just kind of reminders that I had, like be on your phone less, but it's not really like a measurable goal. I think what I need to do differently from what I did last year is make long-term goals like for the year that I can look back on, and then short-term goals that are monthly, because I did this in 2021 where every single month I would make goals for the month, and then at the end of the month check those goals off if I did them, or like evaluate them and then make new goals for the next month. And that really helped me and actually kept me on track, because I feel like it's easy to plan all these goals, but if you're not looking at it until literally the next year, like 12 months later, you're gonna forget them, they're gonna fall out of your brain. So I feel like it's really important to tweak them and stay conscious of them like every single month. I actually got myself a little black journal. I also have all my pens here. Also, I did want to say, in my how to make 2022 your best year yet video, I really went in depth with goal setting and I really went into the research about it. I feel like I touched on a lot of really good topics regarding goal setting and how to stay on track of your habits. Okay, I just finished and I have to show you guys what I wrote. Now, I don't want to go too in depth with all the goals that I wrote and certain things, because I really tried to be honest and deep with myself, and I feel like some things are kind of personal that I don't necessarily want to share, but I encourage you to do the same. You can be honest with this because nobody else is going to be seeing it. If you have crazy goals that seem out of reach, it doesn't matter because it's only you reading it, and if you believe it, then you know it's going to happen. But I started off the page by writing 2023, and I wrote a bunch of words that I think kind of are the energy for 2023. I then went on to write a bunch of my goals. I wrote social media goals, some dream collabs that I have, some people that I'd love to meet or see, dream events, places I want to travel to, and then other goals regarding like milestones or like bucket list things that I would love to accomplish. And then in the second page, I've done this in my last video, but basically I think a really important thing that I often like to do is think of myself like out of body. I think of Fernanda. Who is Fernanda? Who do I want her to be? It's kind of like an affirmation. For example, I don't have a team yet, but if I had a team, I would want them to say, Fernanda is such a great boss. I don't know if that sounds too legit. She is so sweet. She is very determined. She is very good at what she does. She is impeccable with her word. She never hands things in late. You kind of get what I'm trying to say here. Basically, I'm trying to see myself from an outer perspective and like, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be known as? Because if I have an ideal version of myself, then I can do habits and like implement new things and focus on what I need to work on in order to become this new person. I saw someone on TikTok saying that a lot of people that are often lost in life, or they don't know which direction to head in, it's because they don't have a clear vision. And I feel like this is something that I've actually been pretty good at. I usually have a vision for like where I want to be, what I want to be doing, and if you know where you want to go, everything that you do in this life will be with that intention in mind. Like you're going to be moving according to what your vision says. I basically just drew a little picture of myself and I wrote a bunch of adjectives that I want to be. Like I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm confident, I'm thoughtful, I'm a good listener, I'm fun, I'm entertaining. Write down in paper like who you want to be. I feel like sometimes I want to make changes in myself and it like doesn't even feel real until I write it down. We feel very strong about our identities, and if we can find ways to change the way we think about ourselves, it makes all the difference. In the book Atomic Habits, it said something along the lines of, instead of saying I'm going to read 7 books, having your mind that you are a reader. I'm going to become a reader, and like changing that little identity switch, it really just makes all the the difference. And you start to believe it. I feel like it's kind of like affirmations and manifesting. On the next page, this is a little bit different. I really love the way this turned out. I made like little folders and you can like take these out. The other day, like while I was just like doing work, I made both of these at different times. I feel like I always get inspired and like I just start drawing on paper, but like I really like the way these 2 pages turned out, so I want to keep it in my 2023 journal. But in the first one, look at this crazy little piece of artwork I did. I basically titled it a high frequency babe, and these are a whole bunch of ways that I want to raise my vibrations and raise my frequency. If you're a little bit unfamiliar with what this means, basically every single person has a frequency. I'm gonna put a chart right here. You can see each emotion holds like a different frequency, and obviously when you're at love and the enlightenment, it's at the very top, whereas when you are feeling shame, you're radiating such a low frequency. Basically there are ways that you can lift up your frequency and make yourself just a happier, more vibrant person, and I wrote down a bunch of different ways that I can do this, and I feel like it's important to raise your frequency because when you have a high frequency, you attract people of that same frequency. For example, if you're a happy person, you are going to attract happy people in your life, but if you are sad and pessimistic, you are only going to attract sad and pessimistic people. And same goes with opportunities. I feel like whenever I feel my best, when I'm traveling and I'm so happy, I just feel like so joyful, I attract all these amazing opportunities, and I 100% think that it is the frequency that you give off, because there's no way you are getting crazy opportunities if you are being a negative Nelly that no one likes to be around. Some of the things that I wrote down on how to raise your frequency is doing gratitude. That's like an automatic, easy one. Meditation, breath work, and yoga. Eating high vibe food. Reduce and eliminate alcohol, toxins, and processed food. Thinking positive thoughts.
I'm gonna stop right there just because while reading this list, I realized that this can actually be a really fun video to film in itself. So if you're interested in learning more about this, please let me know in the comments.
On the other page that I had, this one looks like this. Basically, how we were talking about the identity thing, I feel like a big thing for me is that I really strive to be a creative person. I feel like whenever I'm doing something creative, like doing arts, doing crafts, drawing, painting, editing, I really get in touch with my inner child. I feel like that was something that I was really passionate about when I was younger, just like being creative. And I feel like the older that you get, you can lose your spark a little bit or get in the routine of like habit, and you just forget that like being creative just means doing new things, trying new things, failing, doing good, doing bad, whatever. And I wrote, I am creative, and I did a whole bunch of different affirmations around it that I want to embody. For example, I view all of life as an opportunity for self-expression. I maintain a sense of curiosity about life, and I like to people watch. I follow my true passion and am motivated to act from internal desires. I seek new opportunities. Flow state helps me create from my highest level. I see possibility where others don't. I have a vision, etc., etc. So I have a whole bunch of things here. And then I wrote 2 quotes at the top that really stood out to me, and that is that one, creativity is the act of making something from nothing, which I feel like is just inspiring for anybody that wants to have a little bit of creative juices in them. And the other one is that diversity to experience is critical to creativity, which that sentence alone inspires me, because sometimes we can become a little bit stagnant in our routine. And if we want to be like creative and think new things and have new ideas, we must diversify our experiences, which I feel like is my ultimate goal in life. This isn't even like my year goal. This is like my 10-year goal, my 20s. I really want to strive for just experiences, because the more that I can experience, the more well-rounded that I will be, the more I can refine what I like, what I don't like. And I feel like a quality that I really like about others and that I really admire about others is when they are like super interesting, because you can just have so many questions to ask them. And I feel like the way that somebody becomes interesting is by trying new hobbies, trying new experiences, traveling to new places, and like I feel like that's my ultimate goal in life. So anyways, that is a little bit of inspiration for me. You can do something like this if you feel that you want to. Gets my creative juices flowing. Like I am inspired right now. Anyways, next page. I wrote some journal entries for the end of 2022 and some reflections. You can ask yourselves some questions just to look back on the year. I feel like that's a really important part about going into the new year, because you can't just go in and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do all these new things. No. We need to reflect on 2022. What went right? What went wrong? How can we improve? What are we grateful for? And if you are a little bit stuck on these journal prompts, it's so easy to look on Pinterest and search up end of year reflection journal prompts. I'll put some on the screen here as well so that you can look at them. And then on the last page, I wrote some of the start of the year prompts, because again, that is also such an important thing.
Vejo dominó na esquina.
That was my beginning of my journal. The next step is to make our actual board.
I'm so freaking excited. I went on Pinterest, I scrolled through all the photos and really focused on what is my main goals for the year. Because I feel like for phone or laptop wallpapers, we can use that more as like inspiration, and that can be pretty colors, that can be aesthetic fonts, that could just be photos that give you inspo. But this is like the goals that we want to achieve, because by the end of the year, we want to be able to look back at this and say, we did that, we did that, we did that. And I printed out a bunch of photos. I'm going to spend the first little bit just cutting out all these photos out with scissors. I also pulled out one of the magazines that I already have and see if there's any words that really stick out to me to cut out and put it on, because I feel like that's very like 90s, and I totally remember doing that when I was younger. It'll feel like super nostalgic and very DIY-ish. I'm so excited. This is like my dream hobby. And I'm gonna play some music at the same time to get the vibe right. Stick was so bad. I'm on the track to get a new one. I'm gonna go to Staples, and while I'm there, I might see if I can get another calendar. Bought some better glue sticks because the glue sticks that I was using from the dollar store just weren't hitting it for me. This is something I'm really excited for. I used to have one at my parents' house, but I got a big calendar. I feel like this is gonna really come in handy because even though I use Notion all the time, and I'm definitely gonna talk about Notion in part 2 of this video, I feel like for my brain, something about doing things like by hand and having it like in front of my face just works better. So I think this is gonna be really helpful for me. I also bought just a regular whiteboard so that I can use this as a to-do, and I can put this like literally on my fridge or something. I also got black Sharpie fine liners, and then I got some more Expo markers in rainbow because I feel like this is just very motivating. And at the end of the day, we want like all these new habits to be easily... My Roborock vacuum just turned on, but at the end of the day, we want all these new habits to be like super accessible. Like we don't want to implement new habits and it'd be like a pain for us to do it. So if we're adding all these new things to our lives, let's make it easier, let's make it fun, let's make it appealing. Humans, I think we are simple creatures and we are attracted to pretty things, and that's what's motivating me. Vision board is done, but we are not done. I'm going to go in with a metallic pen and just like add little details, add little rhinestones, just make sure everything is in the right place. So far it looks really good. I did add a lot of photos, but I just have a big vision. Calendar is looking like. I basically just numbered all of it and added in anything that I know for sure is gonna happen in January. For me, that's some deadlines. And then I had a little picture here that didn't make the vision board, so I just stuck it on here with a magnet. And at the bottom, I have a little bit of space, so I'm just gonna write like some main key goals for January. Second little board here. I pinned 2 little photos that I printed out that didn't make my vision board, but I divided it into 2 sections. One, which is to do, which is going to be my daily to-dos of that day. And then the other one is a little checklist for the morning and night routine, because these are the habits that I want to make sure that I'm doing. I feel like a lot of people can benefit from making a list like this or just reminding themselves, because even when I lived at home, for example, I remember my brother would always struggle to remember, which obviously he's a guy. I feel like they're less into the whole routine thing, but like he would always struggle to get his like morning routine and night routine down, because there's little things that you forget to do. But if you write them down and you have it hung up on your wall, you can just be reminded of the basic little things. And also I did hear that when your mental health is going down a little bit or you're not having the best time, the first thing that we let go of is our personal hygiene and our self-care and things that have to do with taking care of ourselves. So as long as we have little reminders, we can hopefully throughout the entire year have a consistent pattern of doing these little acts of kindness to ourselves, because that is so important, and that's really going to reflect how you feel on the outside, which reflects if you can even get your vision board done. Like there's no point in making all these big vision boards if your health isn't even in the right place. So 1, be grateful for the health that you have, and 2, try your best to maintain it and keep it healthy and make it healthier if it's not where you want it to be already. I'm super happy with the way everything turned out. I'll explain to you guys a little bit about what my vision board looks like. Okay, it is time to go into the vision board. I'm gonna tell you guys about my goals and my vision, but you guys have to promise that you're gonna believe in me and be like, yeah, Fern, you can do it, the same way that if you comment down below what your goals, I'm gonna support everyone and say, yeah, girl, you can do it. Yeah, boy, you can do it. Yeah, whoever, you can do it, okay? So, goals. One thing I wanna say before starting my goals is that I know that I'm in a very particular situation where like I do social media and I'm not in school right now, and I have a little bit more flexibility with time and with money at this current state, kind of a like not super common stage. So my vision board may look really different than yours, but whatever aligns with what your vision is, what your goals are, focus on that. For example, if you're in school, freaking romanticize the heck out of your grades, what career you want to get into. Here she is. You got the big YouTube logo right in red. You can see that very clearly. I want to continue doing social media, obviously, forever and ever, but I really also want to try out doing like mainstream traditional media. Like I would love to do some red carpets. I think it'd be super fun to host a red carpet. Like I saw Kenzie Ziegler do the hosting for the AMAs. I don't know how you even get into that, but like that would be super cool. I really want to go to Miami Swim Week, Fashion Weeks, maybe get a publicist. If I could do award shows, I think that'd be super cool. If I could be featured in like a magazine or do a magazine cover. I know my fam did the cover of Harper's Bazaar Vietnam, so there's me. There's a little Polaroid of myself. Any sort of like Revolve trips would be amazing. I really want to do a yoga retreat. I talked about that earlier, but like in Costa Rica, hopefully. I put some Polaroids of a girl doing a shoot for Calvin Klein. I think that would be amazing. And I also put some simple ones that don't have to be like super big milestones, like prioritizing some sleep, self-care, eating really healthy. I put a dream bag that I want to buy. This is me on a yacht in Miami. I put some brands that I want to collab with. Here's me front row at a fashion show. Marilyn Monroe, just people that I really like their energy and I want to embody that. My close friends might know this, but I always say whenever we go out, I'm like, we're serving Marilyn Monroe, aura, amazing, show-stopping, we know we're that bitch energy. And so she just reminds me of the energy that I want to embody. But yeah, there's a little red carpet, someone doing my hair, a photo shoot, Coachella. I really want to go to Coachella again. I put also a Revolve event in the Hamptons, because if I got to go to the Hamptons this year, that would be a goal of mine. Anyways, some PR packages. Oh, also I literally put down Forbes. I really want to be on Forbes 30 under 30, which gives me 9 years to be on Forbes 30 under 30. So, you know, we've got time, but I feel like once you have the big goal, then you can focus on all the little steps on how to get there. Like there's no way I'm gonna be on Forbes right away with doing nothing, but if I research what everybody else on Forbes has done to get there, then I can take inspiration from what those people have done. And the same thing goes with whatever you're doing. If you want to be a straight A student, you can get advice from somebody that is a straight A student and kind of envision them as like your mentor and be like, hey, what do I have to do to be where they are? And for example, if you want to be a YouTuber, you can scroll back on my YouTube channel videos and be like, what did Fernanda do to get there? Stuff like that. I feel like that really helps me get to where I want to be. It's like modeling, not copying, learning from other people that have done it before you. Because to be fair, with the internet, there's blueprints everywhere. And I think it's really possible to happen. I have so much content on manifestation, visualizing your best self, doing affirmations, doing scripting, and just over
overall making it happen. I feel like every single year, my years get better and better and better. And I think it's honestly just confidence in believing that you can do whatever the heck you set your mind to. Also, be kind with yourself if you made a vision board last year and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I didn't accomplish everything that I wanted to do, because the year only has 365 days, which is daunting yet also like inspiring, because there's so many days you can do stuff, but at the same time, 365 days isn't a lot. So if you didn't accomplish every single thing you wanted to do, be kind with yourself, reflect back, think about what worked, what didn't. Guys, this was part 1 of my series on leveling up for 2023. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next one. It's gonna come out in the next couple of days. I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure to watch my New Year's playlist, and I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe. I will see you guys very soon.